welcome to your Jiu-Jitsu Foundations lesson for today. Today we're going to go over side control, excellent position for controlling, attacking, and transitioning to other things. I'm going to go over some key points to that, keep it nice and simple for you and make you better at it for sure, and then show you some stuff you can do at home, even with minimal equipment, or if you have an exercise ball. I'm going to show you some awesome stuff we can do there as well. So today, side control is the position that we're talking about. Where I'm here on my partner, chest to chest. If you're not familiar with it, this is my partner's head. This is the legs. Somehow I'm clearing my legs and hips past my partner's hips and connecting my chest with their chest. However I've done that, boom, chest to chest. My legs and hips are clear of my partner's hips, and that is side control. So the connection of my chest to my partner's chest is extremely important, and you hear us bring up connection here all the time. You hear Coach Adam talk about it, SBG as a whole, and we do our best to explain it to you guys in foundations. So the most important part of this whole thing is going to be that my chest is connected to my partner's chest. So let's talk a bit about connection very quickly. Okay, connection is when the best definition I have heard of it is if I move an inch, my partner moves an inch. If I move 2 inches, my partner moves 2 inches. So the difference between connection and attachment. Okay, if I grab onto my wrist, and my wrist and my hand are connected together. If I move it an inch, it moves. If I pull it an inch, it pulls. If I maybe tied a little rope around my wrist and grabbed the other end, my hand and my wrist are attached, but they are not connected. Okay, I can move it and it would still move my wrist, but there's a lot of lag there. There is slack in the rope. It is not super efficient. It's going to be flopping around. Whereas once again, if I grabbed my wrist or you tied my hand to my wrist, now they are connected together. Okay, so that is what we mean when we say connection. There's lots of different ways to have it, but like I always explain it to the kids, it's like 2 little Lego bricks. Once they're clicked together, they are connected, like they are essentially one piece now. So that is the most important thing. It will help you with your passing, it will help you with your side control, many things, but I need my chest to be connected to my partner's chest. That is extremely important. Once I have that, I just need to make sure that my legs and hips are clear of my partner's hips. My chest is connected. Now we can go to work. But as long as my chest is connected on my partner's chest, I have lots of options. Once I have connected my chest to my partner's chest, the next thing, and honestly, if you just do these 2 things, the rest will really take care of itself, and we have a lot of options. But I connect my chest to their chest, then I need to get as much of my weight off of the mat and into my partner as I can. So I do that by basically just having my toes make contact with the mat. My chest is on my partner's chest, and then I need to get as much of my weight off of the mat as I can. So I want to get on my toes. So just my chest is making connection with my partner, chest to chest. My knees are off the mat, my elbows are off the mat, my hands are off the mat. Now we are good and connected, and I'm not wasting any of my energy. My chest is driving into their chest. It's very, very heavy, very uncomfortable. This also allows me to move around my partner freely if I need to. We show you guys how in class, where I can go from one side to move all the way around the head to the other side. It allows me to change my hand position. It allows me to change my leg position. All kinds of stuff. Okay, so if you just focus on those 2 things, my connection of my chest to my partner's chest and my getting my weight off of the mat. If you can do that, it will make your side control a lot more efficient. It will make you less tired on top. You're not going to be doing as much pulling and squeezing, and you'll find yourself a lot more able to attack and transition more freely. Okay. Now now that we have our main two components, my chest connected to their chest, my toes in the mat, everything else off the mat, unless it's an emergency, now we can start to worry about all the other things we need to worry about or what we want to accomplish. Now we can worry about, how we're blocking the guard. We show you guys we can do that with the inside arm, the inside knee. We can have lots of different arm positions. We can also move around the head. But we have a lot of stuff that we can do now that we're set up. As long as we're doing those main two things, we have a lot of stuff open to us because I'm not relying on holding on to my partner with my arms, or I'm not relying on squeezing. I'm letting just, gravity do a lot of this work for me, my connection do it for me, and then I'm gonna let my partner get themselves in trouble, whether they're rolling away, rolling into me. I'm gonna let them stick their arms out and do all that. And if we need to, I can start to open them up. Once again, if I'm doing my good stuff, now I have some freedom. Okay, now I can start to hit this person a little bit. Now, if it's just jiu-jitsu, maybe I can start reaching in this collar a little bit. I can start messing with my partner. I can move around the head. Or I can transition to other positions, which we're gonna look at in a second. I can transition to knee on belly. I can transition to the mount. If my partner rolls away, I can start to take their back. So that's gonna open up a lot of stuff for me. Instead of me worrying about squeezing my partner to death, that sort of thing. So now that we've looked at a bit of that, let's talk about what you can do at home. So even if you just have something simple, I have this dummy here. This could be a couch cushion or two, a dummy that you've made, a pillow, or if you're lucky enough to have a partner or somebody that's willing to help you out on bottom, they can be your partner down here. So the first thing we can do is just work on that solid positioning. Chest to chest, getting all the weight off the mat. Just practicing this, it takes a while. There's a bit of an art to it. Settling that weight in one spot. So we can do that. Once we're comfortable there, we can move from one side to the other while focusing on just having my toes essentially touch the mat. Okay, I leave my chest to chest. I want to take my legs from over here and move around my partner to the other side. I'm going to move around the head, keeping my chest connection. Doing my best to not put my hands or elbow or anything like that, knees on the mat. So I'm just working one side to the other, chest to chest. I'm on my toes. I can do it nice and slow. Chest to chest must stay in contact. Toes on the mat. My knees are off the mat. Boom. And as I'm here, if you can see, even if I have lost my chest to chest for a moment, I at least have this very solid connection with my shoulder as I move. And once I get to the other side, I'm going to adjust so that my chest is back. So if you find yourself a little off, as long as you're heavy, I'm still up, strong connection here, and then I can work to get back to chest to chest. So we have just the position, we have the moving around the head, and then we have the going to knee on belly or mount, all right? This also gets where you can hear me probably breathing a little bit. This will get you sweaty. It can be a good little workout as well, especially popping up and down from knee on belly. All right, so I'm going from here, ready. Maybe I move around the head a bit if I want, and I'm going to transition to knee on belly, shin across, still good balance, toes on the mat, no hands on the mat. I can lower myself back down. So now I can add in popping up to knee on belly at any point. Knee on belly, you can hold a little bit. If you're comfortable, you can play around. Whatever you know from knee on belly, lower yourself back down. Same goes for mount. You can either just drive that knee across the belly or step over. So I'm going from side control, step over to mount, back, side control. I can drive the knee across, boom, then mount, transition back. So I'm just moving between those positions, all the while concentrating on my connection to the chest, my toes on the mat. If you are lucky enough to have an exercise ball or Swiss ball, as they are sometimes called, this is an excellent tool if you have one of these, okay? I used to spend a lot of time doing this. You can find a crazy guy named Jeff Glover doing all kinds of wild stuff on one of these, but it will help your balance. Excellent way to get a little cardio into your workout. If you can get a hold of one of these, they're excellent. You know, a big medicine ball will sort of do the same thing, not quite as good. So let's look at this. This is a little bonus for anybody that has one of these. If not, you still have tons you can do with just a pillow, just a cushion, everything I just showed. Working your good posture, working your connection, working your toes in the mat, moving around your partner, transitioning to knee on belly, to mount. Ton of good stuff you can be doing there. But if you have one of these, double time. Okay, so we used to do this a lot with the kids as well. Chest to chest connection. Same thing. Connect my chest to the ball. Now, knees off the mat, hands off the mat. So now as you can see, it gets a little wobbly. This is kind of the cool thing about this. It's self-correcting. If I get too far this way, it makes me want to slide off the ball. If I get too far that way, it makes me want to slide off the ball, and it makes me put my hands on the mat. So, let's look at this. Chest to chest or shoulder to chest. The first thing I'm going to do is just work on that. Work on my balance here, chest to chest, on my toes. Maybe I can work on shifting a little bit this way, a little bit this way. Once I'm more comfortable, I can work on moving my legs around. Now, as I do that, I'm going to have to adjust my chest. I can use my forearms a little bit. But the cool thing about this is that's, to me, makes it pretty realistic. As we move around someone in jiu-jitsu, they're not just going to lay there and dead fish. Okay, people on the bottom, they are moving and bridging and rolling and pushing and doing all kinds of stuff. So I think this really helps. It gives almost kind of like a live opponent. So in the early parts, focus on that. Be careful in your house. You can fly off of this ball, okay? It can go wrong on you, so make sure you're being careful. Don't hit your head, and don't break anything in your house. But chest to chest, working on all that stuff. You can do a lot, moving around. Try not to fall off, and try not to touch the mat. Now, a little more advanced. If you're comfortable, you can work on working that mount and knee on belly. The transition to knee on belly. I'm going from here. I'm going to use a little bit of forearm to transition to knee on belly, where I'm driving my shin, I'm on my toes, I'm driving my weight over the ball, making me adjust and balance. Then I can lower myself back down. We gotta move. Now I'm gonna transition up again. Keeping the ball stable underneath me. Moving a little bit, dropping back down. So it will make you tired, gets the abs going a little bit. If you're comfortable, you can kind of do it like mount, okay? You can pop up and do both knees, and then back down. And then now, if you're very, very comfortable with this, you can really play around, okay? You can go from one side knee on belly to the other side, moving around. And then once you're putting it all together, it makes a very, very good workout finisher, a little bit of cardio. You move around, you got your side control. You can always add little punches, knee on belly, punch from knee on belly, back down, See, look, if you ever have to touch the mat, make it quick. Get back to normal. So, thank you all for hanging out. These are some things you can do at home. I highly recommend one of these bad boys if you can get a hold of it. Excellent workout. It got me a little sweaty and out of breath just doing that. Maybe because I'm out of shape a little bit. But hopefully everyone is doing good and is staying safe and healthy. Coach Adam is going to have a Zoom tonight, so make sure you hang out for that. I believe that's at 6 o'clock. So thank you all for checking this out, and we'll see you tomorrow for some striking. Thank you, everyone. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.